Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this Monday morning. We love Monday mornings on Panhandle Outdoors. Jeff's back there grinning. He's so happy to be at work, and everybody's just excited about Mondays here. So we get the week started off right. I think it's a big thing. Our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and 77. Good programs coming up this summer. We'll try to get them on and tell you about some of the good programs they'll have. Nice day today with the rain, rain sort of scattered throughout the area, but we've got some nice weather coming up the rest of this week. The big thing, though, is the moon. We're going to get to it, but the really big news, water temperature now has hit 80 degrees. So here's a drum roll. We've been talking about it now for about a month or so. It's now to 80. Now you can sort of wade out and make your cast in the surf. It's going to be warm enough. You can't be a wimp now because it's going to be, with 80 degrees, it's going to be nice enough for you to get on out there about chest deep. Just don't have any shrimp in your pocket. High today is going to be 88, and the low is going to be 68. The moon phase, our Monday moon phase, brought to us by Sandhill Seafood. This is a big one now. The full moon of May is what we're looking for, but the new moon is tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow, the new moon in exactly 2 weeks, of course, will be the full moon. The full moon will be on the 29th. So now, take a deep breath and say, I'm going fishing every day for the next 2 weeks, because that's what I want to do, but this is going to be some of the busiest 2 weeks I've had in a very long time, so I don't know what I'm going to do, but anyway, especially that week next week going up into the full moon of May, it's going to be good. I know some of y'all probably get tired of me talking about how good it's going to be, but with the weather and all like it is, water temperature, it's just going to be flat out good fishing these next 2 weeks. Okay, our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn, and we're looking at a high tide at 8:48 this morning. We're getting back in some good tides. It's going to be decent today, but the next 4 or 5 days is going to be excellent. We have a low tide tonight at 6:23. Marine forecast north-northeast about 11. It'll be clearing on up, and it's going to be a pretty day. Let's take our break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So glad you're with us this morning. We got a big show coming up all week long, some really special guests and some really good stuff coming up. Let's take a look at some pictures sent to us recently. This is Garrison Rosie. Garrison has been on the show before. He's a captain, light tackle guide. Pretty stoked about catching this amberjack on a fly. And that, you can see his fly reel there. And I'm going to blow it up and show you the fly that he caught it on. That's a good... It's like a good wet fly right there, a good size one. Okay, good job, Garrison. Okay, Sherry Oliver, Tommy takes his wife fishing, but he's gonna quit taking because she's been catching more fish than he has over there in Crooked Island Sound. And Sherry Oliver is an excellent fisher girl. She can really just flat out catch fish. Good job, Sherry. And let Tommy catch one every now and then. This is interesting. Mexico Beach Fish Cleaning Station, open to the public. Now you see what it is, a pole barn, and it's got a place you can buy your ice right there, but it's free. The city of Mexico Beach provided a fish cleaning station. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Listen to this, paid for using funds received from boat launch fees, okay? Now, here, this is good. First of all, let me commend the Mexico Beach folks for building that pole barn, which didn't cost a whole lot, and putting in that ice machine, which you're going to have to pay for anyway, but making a station, that's good, okay? But personally, I would rather you not charge us to launch our boat, and I can clean my own fish, and we'll do it that way. That's just my own personal feelings. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings about this. What's wrong is you charging boat launch fees on a public ramp. St. Joe's just started doing it, then Mexico Beach jumped in line. I know what happened, it cost some heat and all, so we're going to build this to make everybody feel better. So, I commend you for doing that. That's something positive with that boat launch money, but I think the majority of us hardcore, local fishermen would rather have not pay to launch at a public ramp that was built with our public money, okay? I don't want to get started on that on Monday morning. But anyway, thank you, Mexico Beach. This is interesting. Alabama man in ICU. I'm not going to read you the whole thing. After a coral snake bite, and he's really in pretty bad shape. West Alabama man. over in western Alabama, of course, that got bit on a coral snake, and he's going to have to learn to walk again and all that. But anyway, I'll give you a picture. Remember the coral snake now. Red on black, okay, Jack. Red on yellow, you're a dead fella, or same situation. But that red on yellow right there, that's not good. So that's a coral snake. Just be aware of that. We don't see a lot of these, but a lot of people get them mixed up. Boat raffle, Rotary Club, and I'll be at Rotary Club tonight over here at Panama City Beach, and I'll be the guest speaker. And they're having a boat raffle, $100 donation per ticket, and only 800 tickets be sold. And it all goes to a fundraising and the proceeds to make dreams come true. Okay, for different people. Okay, don't forget the hog hunting, Apalachicola is coming up this weekend. Apalachicola Wildlife Management Area, May 18th to 20th. Dog and still hunting in Apalachicola. And also over in the Bradwell unit in Liberty County, the still hunt area only, not a dog hunt area, but still hunt, is this weekend. Hog hunting on public land there, okay? Also this weekend on the lower right-hand corner, May 19th is coming up, Emerald Coast Redfish Tournament, all right here, 2018 schedule is right here. So May 19th is going to be right here in Panama City. And also, flounder coming in. This is that nobody caught these on a single boat. This is a commercial catch right here, or commercial gig. Fresh gig flounder at Tarpanock Seafood. Good time of the year to get some flounder. So that is that's good right there. All right, now let me, Jeff. I'm gonna skip over a couple of others. Let me see. I want to get this other one right here. This is interesting. I'll read this to you. This is from my buddy Doug Lurie. Hey Winston, this photo is a yellow pompano jig that has lost all its paint from so many skipjack or ladyfish bites. 2 weeks ago, I was catching some nice pompano off the island on jigs and wondered where the skipjack were. Well, wonder no more. They are here in vast numbers. I thought they were a little late, but it made for some great pompano fishing. Now you can cast to a pompano and hope that it will hit before a skipjack does. 90 out of 100 times the pompano hesitates and a skipjack devours your jig. It is what it is. Best from Doug Lurie. And here's this jig. You can see this yellow color is excellent for a pompano jig, and you can see what it's talking about, where it has really been beat up by the skipjack or ladyfish. And Doug, thank you for sending that. And ironically, I have the same bar stools you have. Okay, but anyway, the ladyfish are in. We call them skipjacks. The old timers call them skipjacks. They're also called a poor man's tarpon. And ironically, they did come in late this year, because I was thinking the same thing, Doug, earlier, because we just were not bothered at them at all. But now they're aggressive. But listen, enjoy catching those, because they jump up just like a tarpon, and they're very active. They're going to make a mess now. Get them loose before they get in the boat, or get them next to you, because they're going to make a mess. But they're all fun to catch, and they are in now. So the pompano beat them up here this year, but they got up here in pretty thick numbers right now. All right, let's take our break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. One thing about the springtime, all kind of permits and all coming out for fishing and hunting and all. And one of the big things people have been looking for since 1988 have been the alligator hunting permit. Trying to get a permit to go gator hunting in Florida. The first couple of years it was no big deal, and all of a sudden it just spread like wildfire, and people from all over the United States and even people in different parts of the world started coming into Florida with going on a guided gator hunt. So it's a lot harder to get those quota permits now. But here's the deal. I just got information from FWC, and it's going to be starting this week, May. Okay, the season now, of course, runs August the 15th through November the 1st. But here we're in the application period right there in the middle of the page. The application period for Phase 1 random drawing begins May 18th at 10 a.m. and runs through May 28th. Okay, so you want to get your permit in. The alligator trapping license fee, I just scanned, costs $272 for Florida residents. If you're not a Florida resident, it's over $1,000. And then any permits left over go to Phase 2, and that drawing will be June 1 through 11th. And then, so anyway, I just want to inform you, there's always a certain segment of our viewing area that really enjoys going gator hunting. And with that in mind, I was thinking last night to try to tie in something really unique and all. And one of the most unique things we have is the interview that I did 2 years ago at the Southeastern Outdoor Press Association up at Lake Eufaula at our annual meeting, because I got to interview the couple, the lady who actually took the world record gator. And I thought that interview was so good that it's worth showing again, because we talk about big gators, oh, that's a 10-footer, that's a 12-footer. No, this is flat out. You're going to see how big this one is. This is a flat out world record, recognized by, by all the proper authorities, and taken by a girl. And I just thought that was great. She and her husband had a tremendous time doing it. The story is awesome. I just enjoyed the interview. I talked to him before the interview, and then afterwards we hit it up 2 or 3 times and talked and all. Just had a good time. It was good. We're talking about real people on some Panhandle Outdoors. These are real people here in Lower Alabama. What was cool about it was they were able to go to all kind of different functions and all, and had this gator was mounted, and they're able to take the actual gator mount. So that's what you see. You can see them measuring everything. So there's no rumors about it. It's a true fact. So we're going to roll this video, Jeff, of this big interview here with a world record gator. All right, folks, I'm here with a world record holder for killing the biggest gator in the world, Miss Mandy Stokes. Hello.
How are you today?
Well, I'm excited. Listen, a great story here, but I don't have time to get into it because I want you to tell your story. But we were at the Buckmasters when they made the call. I was looking at the world record then, and they made the call that you had one bigger. So tell us now, give us some background about yourself.
I'm Mandy Stokes. My husband and I live in Marengo County. I'm originally from Wilcox County, where we killed the alligator. I've only been alligator hunting just the one time, so I guess you could call it beginner's luck. But the same alligator that you're talking about was at Buckmasters. The first time I ever saw that mount is really what inspired me to ever want to go alligator hunting. That was a large gator. And you can always hope you kill one that big or bigger, but it was just an awesome experience.
So you told John when you saw that gator there, you said that's your inspiration. You told John you wanted to go gator hunting.
I just walked. It was a situation where you could go around and around the mount, and I just walked around and around the mount, and I was so impressed by the size of his feet.
Yeah.
More than the length or the size of the alligator, but I just was in awe, and I told John, I said, I want to do this. And so we started applying for alligator tags. It took us a couple years to get one, and we hadn't got one since, but we're going to keep trying.
This is a great story. So y'all get all prepared and all, so you knew everything to do and all, right?
Yeah, well, some of the friends of ours in the local area, they hunt with dogs. They hog hunt with dogs. Right. And so they had a gator take one of their dogs down. And anyway, they didn't get the dog back, of course. And the dog being taken under so quickly, they knew it was a large gator. So we had heard tell there was a large one there, but we had also heard tell that there were large ones in other areas that we had gone and scouted.
Yeah.
I think there are large ones there periodically all the time.
Yeah.
They just make their rounds. So anyway, we lucked up on this one.
So y'all coming in at night, you got the lights on, you see a little red eye. I mean, you already seen them, right?
We did. We saw his eyes, and to be honest with you,
you saw some earlier, right?
We did. On the way in, we saw other gators' eyes, and his didn't look any different than the other gators we had seen coming in. So we really made a joke that, oh, this is probably just another small one. But by the time we made our way over there to him with the boat, he had submerged. So we knew there was an alligator there, but we knew nothing about his size. So John and my brother-in-law Kevin just said, let's put a hook in him. And so we did, and the story goes from there.
So y'all, so you were able to get the hook in them, and the fight was on then, right?
Well, it wasn't necessarily a fight like you think. Like the depiction on TV is not necessarily the case all the time, I guess. I'm not going to say it's not all true. However, he just submerged each time. There was only about an hour to an hour and a half before I eventually dispatched him. I did fire at him one time and his head was under the water. That's the only time he reacted in, I guess you could say, a negative way. Yeah. When I fired the gun, we already had some lines on him, and we had attached them to our boat, and he towed our boat across the slough. And there was a lot of cypress stumps in that area, so when he towed the boat, it crashed into the stump. And that was the only time it got really hairy through the night.
Was it scary like?
At that point, fear did take take part. I agree.
All right, so once you dispatch him, you got him. Okay, so y'all got to get him in a boat then, right?
Well, that's what we thought. We did. We heard him taking on water after he was dead. So we got his head up out of the water, and we were able to troll out of the stumps where we were, and we pulled our boat up on some land, and all 5 of us got out of the boat and attempted to put him in the boat, you know. And even at this point, we had not seen his body in its entirety.
Oh my goodness.
So we still hadn't, and we were a little naive on the size of the gator, I would say. But once we exhausted all our efforts to put him in the boat, we just tied him up to the boat as good as we could and trolled back down river to the landing.
Oh my goodness. How far are y'all from the landing?
About a mile to a mile and a half.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And then, did you know you had a record then? You had a big one.
Well, we were just trying to beat our state record, which was 14.2. That would have been pleasing to us. We didn't even know there was a world record, really.
So who you called about? You called a game commission when you get back?
Well, we have a weigh-in station in the area because it's a regulated hunt.
Okay.
And so we had some friends waiting on us, and they used their Polaris Ranger to pull it out of the water. We got it back to the weigh station. And we knew before we loaded it onto the trailer that we had beat the record in length. We didn't know how much he weighed yet.
No.
When we got him back to the weigh-in station, it took him a while, but to get him up, to attempt to get him up on the scales, but he broke some of the shackles and things that were.
Man.
So at that point, it was delayed a little longer. They had to bring in a backhoe to weigh him. But when the weight came in, we knew we had the state record, but it was a couple weeks before we were confirmed with a world record.
Wow. So somebody said did y'all cut him open and thing?
The taxidermist did cut him open. We delivered him to the taxidermist on Sunday. We killed him on Saturday morning, or we delivered him on Sunday. It was a couple days when he opened him up. He had approximately a 3-year-old doe inside.
Holy cow.
He did. In her entirety. He had 2 squirrels, a duck, and parts or remains of a small cow or calf.
Oh.
He had some of the teeth out of one.
Oh my goodness.
He had been eating extremely late.
Wow, they had a buffet right there.
I agree.
Well, then he got a record. How did you feel when he realized it was a world record?
You know, it was a couple weeks before it was confirmed.
Yeah.
So we were excited by all means, but the newness of the hunt was starting to kind of wear down. I mean, which we were so bombarded with media and different things at that time. So that just opened up another whirlwind of interviews.
Well, it's called the Stokes Gator now, right?
That's right. We have referred to him as Cecil a little bit ever since the controversy with the line, but that was just a joke, you know.
Okay, I want to congratulate you. I know our viewers are going to love this interview, and congratulations that we have a female that now holds a world record gator. That's amazing. And
a lot of my friends and relatives are glad, you know, they're just with the woman thing, you know.
Yeah. Well, and real quick, what are some other outdoor activities you enjoy?
At our home there in Marengo County, the most abundant hunting and fishing or anything like that we do is dove and deer. We're willing to do most any of it, but that's what we do most often.
Okay. Well, if you're ever down in far Panhandle, you give us a call when you come back on our TV show.
That would be awesome.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Back.
Watch your side. Watch your side. You're off. Okay.
Hold up. We told you something.
Okay, welcome back. Hope you enjoy that now. This is very unique now to have that in our area. I'm so glad we have that in our records and in our files. Let's look at our fishing game times today brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. Only one time. We're looking at 12:03 to 2:03. We're talking about always being busy and doing things. I do want to mention with graduation, a lot of us get asked to give gifts and all the different graduates and all with family and close friends and all. And I always want to recommend a lot of times we just get in the habit of just giving cash and let them buy what they want. But if you come with some unique outdoor gift, something like a special reel or something like that, I'd be, you know, just don't stick with them long after that cash is gone. I would recommend, you know, getting some kind of a outdoor gift or that would last a while that the child could use years down the road. Now, also, I will be speaking this morning, speaking of graduation. I'll be giving an outdoor ed scholarship, and Panhandle Outdoors is part of the sponsors, outdoor ed scholarships at Mosley at a senior recognition this morning. Tonight, like I said, I'll be speaking at the Rotary Club at Panama City Beach, and looking forward to that. And uniquely, I'm going to talk about the Panhandle Outdoors show. They want to hear more about it, and they're interested. Most of my talks are on either historical side or the inspirational side. In fact, I have 3 speaking engagements in the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to be really tied up, and I ought to be fishing the next 2 weeks, but Friday night I get to talk to some graduating seniors down at First Methodist Church, and that will be my inspirational talk, and then the following week I have another engagement. So I'll be glad to, to speak at some of your functions and all, and I enjoy doing it if it can help people and inspire them and all. So I'll just throw that out there. I only have about a minute left. I have some other things I want to talk about too, about permits and all, because this is the time of year you want to start applying for quota permits, but we really don't have enough time to get into them. I do want to mention the CCA tournament, the Star Tournament now. Remember where they give away, if you catch that tag, redfish, they really, you win a truck or a boat or whatever. We talk about it every year, and I say each year I'm going to win it. I think I am going to win it this year. So it's going to start now on Memorial Day weekend. It will last till Labor Day. I will talk about some more later on during the week, but I do want you to go and put it in mind about if you catch one now, you got to be a member of CCA. So to me, it's worth the membership just in case. And plus, they've expanded it. They're going to have some random drawings. If you catch a speckled trout and document it, your name's entered in the hat. It don't have to be the biggest or the first. They're just going to make a drawing on speckled trout. They're going to do it on mahi. They're going to do it on grouper, almost about 5 or 6 different categories of fish. They're actually going to, if you just catch it, send them a picture, and then your name will go in the pot, and the prizes are really, really good. And this is the biggest group of prizes they've ever had. So that's something really exciting to look at, and we'll give you more details on it. I just wanted to let you know about it as we approach the Memorial Day weekend, which is the official start of the boating season. So we'll talk about that some later too. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Had a great day today. I enjoyed bringing this to you. As always, I want to ask you to do something good for your fellow man and take care of those graduates now and give them some good positive encouragement as they go out into the world. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.